Alright, so today I want to talk a little bit about how to install Adobe Photoshop CS2 in Ubuntu Linux. And yes, we want to agree the license terms and we want to install. Obviously this method is using Wine, so no VirtualBox, no Windows XP involved. Very simple, we enter our username, we enter our serial number, and we click next. Default directory is fine. This stuff basically doesn't matter because Wine doesn't change your associations, which is good. And then we install, and now it's copying the files. It'll remind us about the activation in a second. I'm gonna just skip that real quick because I don't want to activate right now. So I'm gonna say remind me later. Yep. And now it's doing the actual installation. I actually sped up that part of the video a little bit, so it's not real time. It takes a little longer than shown here, but we don't want to watch this progress bar too long. So now we're done installing, and all that's left to do is basically just to start it. So it's not under graphics where you would probably expect it, but it's under Wine because it's a Windows application. So you start it, and it takes, of course, takes a moment to load. I've actually timed the loading times for Windows and Linux, and for my computer at least they are about equal, so there's really no difference either way. So it's starting up. Yeah, now it's going to tell us to register. We don't want to register, so we say no. And it wants us to activate again. We don't want that either, and we also don't want the startup dialog. And no, we do not want to update, but that's all normal. Just click that away. Okay. And now we want to do a quick test just to see whether it's working. And you got all the default Ubuntu effects, like the wobbly windows and everything just works fine together with Photoshop. Make this a little bigger. And yeah, looks pretty good. Now, with my last video on the matter when we were doing it with VirtualBox, somebody asked if very large images are supported. So let's do a test for very large image. So about 3500 by 3500 would be fine. Okay, and now let's just generate some clouds, I guess. Exactly, and let's blur them. Obviously, you're not going to see much of the blur because it's a different scale, so it's not going to be visible in this kind of view, but as you can see, it's done already. I'm going to run with Control F, do another run. Done already. Now let's do Gaussian blur, and done already. So it's just as fast, just as performant as the Windows native version, and as you can see, it's nice and blurred out. Probably you can't see it, but yeah, it did what we asked it to do. And now you'll notice that some of the fonts are a little small and unreadable. You can change that in the general preferences on the UI font size. Just turn it to medium, and you'll need to restart, and then it'll be all great. So thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the screencast, and I hope it was a little bit helpful. So thanks and goodbye.